Now see, that's what happens when I don't have any kind of direction and I'm left on my own.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's, you're talking about Coco.
Talking. Well, gotta talk to.
Well, I don't know where to go if you don't give me some kind of direction.
Well, I wanted to ask you, we're talking about first gigs today, and you really just told the funniest story. I want you to tell the story of your first ever gig and how that happened.
My first gig? Oh, the one up in Duluth, Minnesota?
Yes.
Well, I had been getting in some trouble. I was about 15. And, 16, 15, I think. I was having some troubles at home, and I wound up staying with an aunt. I'm completely skipping over the mental institution.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to talk about that, but
Oh, come on.
Tragic. Yeah, they thought I needed help, They dropped me off, and it was a big mistake because I didn't need any help. But the guy said, "You all say that, and you all need help." Hell, I was just 15, sowing my oats, Anyway, my mama had to go to the damn governor of Tennessee to get me out. She didn't realize that she had dropped me off at the nut house, in Memphis at Gaylor Hospital. God damn, that's where I was born. Yeah, I was born just down the hall. Yeah, and when she saw where she had let me out, it was a bad scene. But I can't get myself out of this hole here. Anyway, they got me out and sent me up north to stay with an aunt and an uncle.
Thought it would help you out or something.
Yeah, up in Minnesota, Wyoming, Minnesota. And I met a guy named John. I can't remember his last name. I had it earlier.
Don't even bother.
But I went to a second-hand shop and then picked up a chromatic harmonica and just started playing. I bought it for $10. I just started playing it, It just came real natural. John Peterson is his name. And he heard me, and he said, "Hey, man," he said, "you want to come out to my house?" He said, "I play guitar." I went, "Yeah." So we went out to his house, and we're talking about out there, it's kind of like Texas, except we got a bunch of lakes. Well, Texas got a lot of lakes. But anyway, he could play like Chet Atkins. And so he said, he got one of his other buddies, brought him in, Charlie something. And we're next thing you know, we're playing and picking, and I'm singing. I always done that. And he said, "You want to do a gig?" And I said, I didn't even know what a gig was. I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Go play." He said, "We're going up to Duluth." And we played at the Nut House in Duluth, the mental institution. We had to go through a special thing, and there was a door I went in, and there was a window in this room, and there was a net that went from corner to corner, and there was a woman in that net. It's a crazy woman, wire screen. And this place it had them all in there. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's where I was, and they all loved me. I don't know why. I've always attracted handicapped people, but there was the little guy that had water on the brain. He had a big head, looked like an alien, and I forget what they call that. And then another one, the big goofy dude. he was all next to me. But that was my first gig, and it was at the Nut House in
No, I have to ask because you had just come out of one.
I just came out of one.
And you did your first gig.
I was a little nervous going through the gate, you know.
Did that kind of frighten you?
I was a little nervous going through the gate, you know, because I knew that they could snap you up, you know, whether if anything was wrong with you or not. So, you know, I didn't want to get too close to them, you know, like to where I understood too much about, you know, was an equal with them, you know, especially the one with the head. Take me to your leader.
What? I mean, how did this gig come about?
I don't know. It was something that he arranged, you know. And I think it was the only one we ever did. You know, I eventually came back home to Memphis and, you know, I had my harp, and so I started playing the blues and stuff. It was nothing. It all came real natural. You know, blowing harp, standing out in front of a band.
And then you did some shows for your dad in a jail.
Yeah. I used to go, and my dad was a Southern Baptist minister, preacher, and he was also a captain and chaplain in the Sheriff's Department in Memphis, Tennessee. I had 2 offices, one on Pintle Farm and one on 4th floor, 201 Poplar. The little man carried a 38 here and a Bible here. You know, he's going to get you one way or the other, you know. He was about 5'4", my dad was. And anyway, I used to go and go up into his, every year when I'd come back home, I'd go up and see all the convicts and hang out with them. I don't know, I've always been attracted to people like that, you know. I guess that's because all of my family are, you know, we're on this side of the law or that side of the law. And I was just kind of on the rail in the middle, you know, so it was nothing unusual for me to go visit my dad, and he had all these convicts around him, you know, and we're all just talking. I just hear everybody that just got in trouble, you know, and got caught, you know. that's what the deal was there. They just got caught, you know. But I would go sing and play for them, you know, and I always did that. Even when I was at Capricorn Records, I'd go with the Macon Jailhouse and play for those guys. I saw some people after as well, you know, I've run into them after as well. And, you know, I go and was going and playing at the Correctional Center, kind of like the Last Chance Hotel outside of where Tyler or someplace. And I don't know, it's part of what I'm supposed to do. I go play for those people and tell my story to them. You know, and I'm glad that I was able to get in and go see them as many times as I did. Some of them that got out, you remember, they came to our shows and said thank you, and it meant something, you know, to them that I went out there to see them and talk to them and spend an hour just, you know, with 100 guys and 100 women, you know, and just talking and telling my tale, telling the story that I know so well about my time with Eric Clapton and George Harrison and what that did to me and how I got involved in drugs and alcohol and then got uninvolved in drugs and alcohol. So, I mean, it was like, for this whole thing, it was like a healing, you know, for them and for me. And as it is for me at this moment, just, you know, recalling this, you know. I know part of what I do, you know, it touches you in a place that you can't really see, hear, taste, touch, or smell, but you can feel it, you know. You can. I can. So I know you can. If I can, I know you can. You know, it's like art, you know. Just either just knocks you down or doesn't, you know. You feel it, you know, if it's right, it moves you, moves you to tears. I've looked at some of my work and just, I'm so grateful. I say thank you all the time when I'm painting. And I'm so grateful, and sometimes it just moves me to tears, you know, because it's all emotion. one woman saw one time and she said it made her break down and start to cry. I said it made me do the very same thing when I saw what I was the vehicle for. I don't know. This is these changing times, and it's a good thing, you know, that we're living and going through these changing times, you know, and yeah, I'm glad that this is all happening. I'm glad everything that has happened, and it is still happening, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, and without us even having to do anything. We didn't even leave the house, you know. One program, the guy's got 59,000 views in 5 days about this whole matter. It's amazing, amazing. Thank you all, you know. We'll be back. We'll be back. There's more to tell. This thing ain't over. It's just getting going. Just along for the ride.